This episode, I wish I knew this. We're going to talk about basic driving, man. Basic driving, man. This one might save some lives. So, like, share, subscribe, you know what I mean? Make sure we get in the hand of the rookie drivers, These are just a couple of my tips. Disclaimer, you know what I'm saying? Get my disclaimer. I'm not a driving expert. I'm not a driving teacher or nothing like instructor. These are just a couple of my tips. Hopefully, make the roads a little bit safer out here. But first of all, you want to definitely check your vehicle before you hit the road. You know what I mean? Checking for flats in particular. You know what I mean? Brake lights in particular, and making sure that all your mirrors are in position of where you can see and where you're comfortable in your vehicle, where you don't have to keep adjusting your body or adjusting anything. You don't have to adjust anything with your mirrors. You know what I mean? Make sure that's all together. When I say the mirrors in proper position, you want to make sure that in your mirror on your driver's side, that you are able to see the lane clearly and the vehicle, the lane line clearly, partially the vehicle behind you, and clear sight out of that mirror on your left side. On the right side, you want the same thing. You want to see a little bit of the line, like the line of the lane. You want to see that in your mirror. You want a clear picture of the vehicles that are coming up on your right side before they get into your blind spot. So that leads right into the next, blind spot awareness. You know what I mean? Before you change any lanes, before you move at all, as far as changing lanes, make sure you hit that turn signal and make sure you turn your head and see your blind spot, whether it's your left or right. That gotta be second nature. You wanna hit that turn signal, check your mirror and your blind basically at the same time. You know what I mean? Make it a quick glance, get back, eyes straight on the road. As far as next subject I'm gonna go into is lane awareness. You know what I mean? To me, how I would break down lane awareness is, as I'm driving right now, there's nothing on my right side, there's nothing on my left side, you know what I mean? So it's pretty safe, you know what I mean? As I'm driving past a vehicle, I'm going to slightly get over towards the left side just to make sure, I got enough space and I can see if he, does any strange movement, you know what I mean? I got enough space for him to do whatever he need to do, accelerate or, slow down, however I need to handle the situation. So how I drive, I definitely keep the wheel as stable as possible, but as I'm passing different said obstacles, say I'm passing an intersection that's on my right side, I said, I'll get over into the left lane if there's a left lane, or I'll get over a little further left to avoid any possible discrepancy. You know what I'm saying? Driving at dark, for instance, if I'm driving and it's dark outside, and I got a wooded area on my right side, and on my left side is a lane coming opposite, you know what I mean, opposite direction. See, if there's a vehicle coming in that opposite direction, I'll slightly get over to the right side towards the woods. If there is no vehicle in that lane, I'll get closer to the center lane to avoid if anything jumps out of the woods. You know what I mean? You want to make sure you got your seatbelt on. Another thing I want to point out for the basic driving is driving with traffic. Drive with traffic, especially if you're in an area where you're not familiar. And this is because you know, you might be in a certain place where everybody's used to driving a certain speed, and if you're driving the exact speed limit, or you know what I mean, you notice that all the vehicles around are just going around you, then you are putting yourself in a dangerous situation. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're driving slow, you don't have brake lights on. You know what I'm saying? So if a vehicle is approaching you going at a rapid rate of speed, and they have someone behind them, they quickly get around you. That person behind them has to make a quick decision as well, you know, and they might not necessarily see your vehicle. So you want to make sure you're paying attention to all the vehicles on the road, and you're matching their speed limit. You know what I mean? At least going with traffic. To drive with traffic. You know, that is the safest way to drive. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, you want to drive for everybody on the road. I can't stress this enough. Drive for everybody on the road. You know what I mean? See somebody, that doesn't mean if you're on the highway to slow down for somebody that's trying to get in on the exit, you know what I mean? And you don't want to do that. If you're on the highway, drive your normal speed. Anybody that's trying to get onto the highway should yield to you. You know what I mean? So you don't slow down for people trying to get on the highway. You know, go at your normal rate of speed. But saying on major scale, on the big, you know what I mean, from the big picture point of view perspective, you want to definitely drive for everybody on the road. You know what I mean? One less aggressive driver helps out everybody. You know what I mean? So if somebody need to get in, you know what I mean, or it's just not worth being an asshole out here, man. Drive for everybody on the road, you know what I mean? Being patient for 1 second, letting somebody in, or, you know what I mean, letting somebody over, save somebody's life, man. You never know what's going on in their lane. You never know what's going on. So I can't stress enough, don't be an asshole on these roads, you know what I mean? Drive for everybody on the road, you know what I mean? To benefit everybody on the road. That will benefit yourself in the long run. You know what I mean? These are my basic driving tips. Of course, you want to make sure you use your turn signals. Those are part of driving for everybody on the road. Make make sure you ain't, you know, high beaming people in the face. And before I go, road conditions. You want to definitely be aware of the road conditions. And aware of how your vehicle reacts through all situations. You know what I mean? You want to be able to know how your vehicle accelerates. You got to know your vehicle. You know what I mean? Know your vehicle. Know how it accelerates. Know how to keep it at a certain rate of speed without going past that rate of speed. How to maintain rate of speed. You know, get behind the vehicle. Get behind the wheel of your vehicle and know your vehicle. Get out here, drive. Another tip for new drivers, I would suggest new drivers get a bigger vehicle. And you know, if you're going out to buy a vehicle, get a bigger vehicle if you're a new driver. You know what I mean? Take your time with it. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you a better understanding of turn ratios, vehicle, how to maneuver in your vehicle and everything. After driving a big vehicle first, anything after that is pretty much like if you're driving anything smaller than a nice sized vehicle, it's very easy. You know what I mean? So if you can practice in a big vehicle before you if you can practice in a big vehicle before you go take your test, that's a benefit. You know what I mean? Or if your first vehicle can be an SUV or something with a nice size, that is a benefit. It is nothing but a benefit. One more thing I wanted to say before I left, and that is writing down pretty much everything. Said drive for everybody on the road. Oh, this one right here is a big one. This one is a big one. All right. Get comfortable in your vehicle. You know, when I first was taught how to drive, my uncle made me drive with one hand. You know what I mean? And at this level of driving, I understand why. You know what I mean? So, you know, after you take your test, you know, I know a lot of places you have to take your test with both hands on the steering wheel. After you're done taking your test, get accustomed to driving with one hand on the steering wheel. And the purpose of that is you don't ever want to be uncomfortable in your vehicle. You know what I mean? It's going to always be a reason you got to take one hand off the steering wheel, whether it's to hit the turn signal, turn the lights on, grab your phone, push a button on the radio. So with that being said, it just makes sense to learn how to drive and get used to driving with one hand and be comfortable with doing it. You make a lot less mistakes. So with that being said, peace. I hope y'all learned something from this situation, from this video. I wish I knew this. We got the next one coming up. I'm gonna do one on like DoorDash, Uber, you know what I mean, how to maximize your time doing that. Peace.